Wow. We had some crazy football games.
Yes, we did.
NorCal
you guys
football
Yeah.
in the books.
You guys did.
Top shelf football.
Unfortunately, I had a dud. Unfortunately.
Not
But-
me. I had
No.
fireworks.
But you know what? I'm happy that I got to see my sister play the bass at her concert in Moreau. So
She's all about that bass.
Oh, you took the line from me. You too quick.
So while Tyler had fireworks, I had game of the year material.
Tell him.
Ooh.
Just saying. Anyways, welcome to the Cover Cal High podcast. I'm your host, Jake Vanderbrook, alongside Tyler Flipson, rocking the backwards hat. Looking good, my man. And we got Adrian Soriano, still wearing the glasses along with the salute. So we talked about NorCal football in the books. So we have seven lucky seven Bay Area teams who have punched their ticket to a state title game. So let's run through those scores, and we're going to start off with those Balboa Buccaneers.
The
We love
Bucks.
Balboa.
Congratulations to Balboa as they were able to beat Los Molinos 41-6, while Somerville was able to take down Sacred Heart Prep 45-28.
Now let's take you on over to the controversial Wilcox 12 Bridges game without getting into too much detail maybe for later. Maybe none at all, but with that being said, 12 Bridges takes down the Chargers, unfortunately for those guys. Great season, 28-27, 12 Bridges.
Who paid the officials in that one?
I don't
Uh-oh.
know. Moving on, we go on over to Lassen and American Canyon, where American Canyon with a dominant win, 43-20 over Lassen.
And then so we go to Fresno last Saturday. The Cardiac Cats
Cardiac
fell
Cats.
just short, 33-23 Central. So
An
yeah.
unbelievable season
Unbelievable
for SI.
Unreal.
season nonetheless.
Unbelievable. They proved
SI.
a lot of people wrong.
Exactly.
That's wrong. Me wrong.
Yep.
I was a doubter. I was a doubter at one point in time, and they did it.
So was I, but well, we all were, I guess.
We were all wrong.
I guess
We
so.
were all wrong, but congratulations to SI on an
Exactly.
outstanding season.
Exactly. And
Open
then-
division title.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And the league championship. So
Yes. Yep.
Sure.
and so then we go to Moreau on Friday. I was at this game again. Very happy. I got to see my sister play the bass at her concert, but I expected a better game. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. 42-11 Moreau Catholic over Leland. So the Mariners' magical season continues, and I guess Tyler
dropped
Yeah,
his
no, I'm here. I'm all right. All right. I'm good,
All right.
coach.
It's Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday.
It's Monday.
It's all right. You had the next one anyway. I had time.
You want to talk offensive fireworks?
Yes.
This game was offensive
Yeah.
fireworks. Acalanes Carmel.
Unreal.
But it's Carmel winning it 42-41.
83 combined points is bizarre. Like, that is unreal. I love it. I wish I could have seen that game firsthand. I would have killed seeing that. All right, let's go on over to then my game where I said offensive fireworks coming right off of Acalanes. Carmel is Grant and St. Francis. What a battle where, both teams. Grant came in with a chip on their shoulder, and you could tell because, they balled 32-30 final. Grant best St. Francis there in that one. That was great. Loved it.
And then our final game that we're going to kind of recap a little bit. St. Vincent de Paul on to state. They beat Houston 42-14.
I feel like a
So
lot of people sleep on St. Vincent de
They're a
Paul
good
and what
team.
they're able to do year by year by year. It's just fantastic to see
They're a
what
good
they
team.
can do.
They're a good team.
So congratulations to them punching their ticket to state. And we're going to recap and get more in detail with these games.
Yeah.
The Pittsburg Pirates, under head coach Charlie Ramirez, they're going back to state, baby.
Yeah.
happy
Taking
for
down
them.
Folsom 28-27. And I told you guys, this is game of the year material. Crazy game. Pittsburgh got off to a really slow start, and it looked like Folsom was going to roll past those Pirates. And at one point, it was 21-0. And the fact that Pittsburgh was able to respond and step up and face adversity and, and rise to the occasion when it was needed most was fantastic. So I want to start off by talking offensively first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Marley Alcantara was outstanding. 4 touchdown passes on the night. RJ Mosley was outstanding. He had 2 of those touchdowns along with well over 150 receiving yards in the game. He was great. Mosley was solid. And, you know, you talk about those guys and the ability to put up points when it was needed most. That was fantastic. Now, defensively, the adjustments that were needed, especially after that first quarter, you know, Juju Walls all over the field, stopping the run, containing Ryder lines, which is huge. And then you also had Dominic Calhoun. I thought Calhoun was outstanding. And Calhoun made the biggest play of the game, which was like the turning point.
Yeah.
Which at one point, Calhoun was able to get a sack. And Ryder went down, and at one point he got up and he was starting to limp a little bit. And, you know, and that was pretty much the last play before they went into halftime. And so now you're wondering, okay, you know, what is Folsom going to do? Are they going to implement a little bit of a playbook where Ryder needs to be more effective working out of the pocket? Right. Or is he going to scramble more? So I kind of thought Folsom was going to put together a little bit of a game plan so that way Ryder can get the ball off quickly while remaining in the pocket.
Right.
And that's what I thought the plan was. But instead, you know, he's going all over the place. It's Ryder being Ryder. He's extending the play, getting out of the pocket. Yeah, he was able to make some plays though, but he wasn't up to full speed as he was compared to the first half.
Yeah.
So that was also a factor. Now, keep in mind, there was also a big play here. So Folsom, it looked like they were going to tie the game. They had over 3 minutes left to go in regulation. It was 28-27. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm lining up for the PAT, right? It's going to be tied game. Folsom has 3 timeouts, keep in mind.
Yep.
They decide to go for 2.
That was a bold play. That's what I really thought of.
I do not agree with that call.
With 3 minutes to go, I mean, that's a lot of ball left in a big title game like that, you know?
Yeah.
I say you play for the overtime, let your defense step up.
Exactly.
Well, forget play for the overtime, right? You have 3 minutes left in the game. You have 3 timeouts. Why aren't you going for the PAT?
And then
why are we going for 2?
And then earlier on in the fourth quarter, this was when there was 9 minutes left. Folsom was driving down the field, and it looked like Folsom was going to tie the game with over 9 minutes left as well. And it was like 4th and 3, I believe. I don't understand why you don't kick the field goal. You kick the field goal. It was a chip shot from like 30 yards out.
Okay, so I don't agree with that call either.
You kick the field goal, you take the points, and then when Folsom scored that touchdown late, you have the lead.
Folsom has a kicker, though? Like, the guy can hit that?
But if it's a chip shot,
But if it's a chip shot.
Why are we going for 3 points? Why aren't you going for sure points?
We have to say a chip shot is subjective. 30
yards
yards
at
that
How far
high
was
school
it?
levels.
Was it like a 30-yarder?
Maybe high 20s, low 30s.
Okay, so that's a chip shot.
I saw some.
It's a chip shot.
I saw some abysmal attempts at the Niner game yesterday at halftime going for these field goals for 10-yarders and
I just
chip
don't.
shot, right?
I just don't understand the play call.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. And so on the contrary, just really quick, as St. Francis Grant, St. Francis goes for 2 also, and it pays off for them to get the lead right before.
Right.
Didn't pay off in the end, of course.
Right.
But with that being said, you know, I guess sometimes you got to make those gutsy calls. We're all on the same page here. I don't see the reason for with 3 minutes to play in the game that you need to do that. It's aggressive, but that's bizarre because then, you put yourself in a hole where now you're really behind like, oh my gosh, we didn't even get the tie after the PAT, where now we have less than 3 minutes. Our defense needs to make a stop and our offense needs to get back.
We got, but I mean, whatever the call was, I mean, that's a gutsy call at the end of the day. But we got to give credit where it's due.
Yes.
With Alcantara, Calhoun, Juju Walls, Jaden Hudson had a really tough matchup against Jamison Powell, and I thought he did a really good job all throughout that game. You got to give credit to Jamar Searcy. Now, he didn't have a great game running the ball, but defensively, he was outstanding. Yeah. So he was the big reason to why he stopped that 2-point conversion, and then he recovered that fumble at the end when Folsom had one last shot when they were facing 4th down. So he was making plays defensively. So, credit to Cersei for, it wasn't his night offensively, but when he was there to make a play when it was needed most, he stepped up.
And you know what? Listen, a lot of credit to Pittsburgh, man. Playing Bosco, playing.
It's all about the
Dale
P
South.
world, baby.
It's all about the P world. Congratulations, but I'm gonna criticize Folsom here. You're up 21-0 and you lose. How do you do that? How does that happen?
Pittsburgh made remarkable
And
adjustments.
I get that, but if you're Folsom, you're up 21-0. What are you guys doing, man? What are you guys doing? How do you choke that? I know I'm
agree.
criticizing Folsom, but
I agree.
sorry, dude. They were up by 3 scores and they lost.
I would love to see you in a play calling position. What would that look like?
Yeah, no.
How about keep the pedal to the metal?
Believe me, right. And that's what I was talking about last week with Palma Wilcox, because Palma was leading at half.
Exactly.
And you can't coast your way to the finish line.
Exactly.
And you would think with Folsom, they've been in this situation before. And you would think that, with great coaching over there, and they do have a remarkable coach over there, keep in mind.
Yeah.
But you got to find another gear to
Exactly.
get the job done. You cannot coast your way. You cannot give Pittsburgh any momentum. And what happened when you're playing that game at Pittsburgh, and when Pittsburgh finds just a little bit of momentum, oh boy,
Exactly.
the tables turn immediately.
And I've said it, all season long on multiple episodes of the podcast, is that Alcantara is doing something remarkable this season.
No picks.
I mean,
has
no
yet to throw-
interceptions all the way into the postseason. I mean, playing the way he is as an undersized quarterback against, and that's the thing, he's been questioned about, the competition that he plays throughout the regular season, but he just beat Folsom. I mean, if
Yes,
that
he
doesn't,
did.
as an undersized quarterback, again, and he's off to Washington State? Where is he?
No, he's
going
a
somewhere.
Southern Oregon.
Southern
Yeah.
Oregon, excuse me. I'm sorry. I think, it's Cersei going to
Cersei's
Washington.
Cersei's going to Washington State.
Sorry, you're right. So, but anyway, I mean, so he's on to big things and showing it in remarkable fashion, the biggest stage at the biggest lights. I mean, it is something else. Seeing his connection with Mosley, too, the way that he's getting the ball to him, and Mosley had a night and a half there in the P. So, I mean,
Yeah.
in a massive stage at
But
that. like
Mosley was amazing. He stepped up.
Yeah.
Kenny Ward was out of the game. He got banged up on one play. So that gave Mosley the opportunity to step up and make plays. And he was outstanding.
And you know what?
RJ Mosley is going to be a problem, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And you know what? Marley has done something. Well, Pittsburgh has never beaten Folsom until like last week. So Marley's done something that even Jaden Rashada hasn't done.
Yeah.
And Jaden Rashada,
Yup.
great quarterback at Pitt. Never beat Folsom. So Marley beat Folsom.
Not to mention a massive stage, too. What did you say, 4,000 people?
4,000 people.
Holy cow.
I mean,
About.
that's probably more than their rivalry game with Antioch. I mean,
And-
they always have a crowd with Antioch, but
4,000 with a 7:30 kickoff, and you got there at what time, Jake?
It was probably like 5:15, 5:30.
how bad was parking?
Oh my gosh!
I
that
found a
sounds
parking spot,
rough.
no problem.
Okay.
But it's just you got to get there early.
Early.
Right?
Oh my
7:30
word.
kickoff, got there at 5:15. Crazy. What a ball game. Well deserved. I mean, I love it. I love seeing Pitt doing what it does best.
And this game was so physical.
Yeah.
There was so much trash talking.
You love it. You love
I was loving every minute of it.
You love it.
And to see the kids celebrate on the sidelines after that, oh my
Electric.
gosh, it was electric.
That's
I
chills
don't-
for sure.
Yeah, no, that is something that gives you chills.
What a
And,
soundbite from-
with Cersei,
I know.
Cersei yelling, all hyped up. You had Marley going, dub. That's what I'm talking about, dub. And then, Jaden Hudson making his case that they have the best secondary in NorCal.
Whoa.
They showed it. They
Yeah.
really showed it. I
Wow.
will say that. They really showed
Yeah.
it. When they made the adjustments when it was needed most, they did that.
Yeah.
And Juju Wall's talking that talk.
I love that
man.
soundbite. That's what I was gonna say. He's-
Bulldog who?
yeah, Bulldog.
Oh, hey.
love
You know what? Could be soundbite of the year. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
We'll
that
see.
was.
We'll see.
But I
That'd be
will
great.
say this, ladies and gentlemen, this is game of the year material. But Folsom, they had a great season.
Well, here's the question: did you go to Sonic? Before
no,
Oh
I
my
didn't go to
gosh.
Sonic.
Hey, get that out of here. That is ridiculous. We're not going to even address that right now. You're shut down.
You know what's a big thing in the East
Canceled.
Coast?
Really,
Yeah.
Sonic?
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, okay.
I want to talk more
They're
good football.
decent.
Listen, I'm trying to savor every bit of football we got right now.
Yeah.
We have another great game to cover that I'm excited about.
Yeah. Let's get to it. Amador Valley McClymonds.
Yeah.
Well, before
Top
you say
shelf.
anything,
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Let me say this.
Okay.
Congratulations to Amador Valley punching their ticket to a state title game. Tyler picked Amador Valley. He was correct. I predicted that Sharky Tamale was going to have a great game for McClymonds, right. And that man went off with 4 total touchdowns. Adrian picked McClymonds, and boy, you have some explaining to do, my man.
You know, I apologize, but but again, right? Uncharted waters for Amador Valley. I picked experience over, right? So again, hey, hats off to Amador Valley. You guys proved me wrong again. And all credit to you guys, man. Wish you guys luck at state. Man, Tristan, Tia. Oh,
T-squared, baby. I told you. What was the final score for that game?
44-33. And Tia, he didn't put up the big time nuurs that we would see in a quarterback.
We talked about it.
He did his job.
He was smart with the football. He was effective with the football. Did he turn it over? I don't even know if he turned it over at any point in time. So I mean, that is
Dwayne is.
So that's the key with Amador Valley. That's the key with Amador Valley in the playoffs is, they've been giving the ball a lot more to Dwayne, and they've been running the ball a lot more, right? Tristan does not have to really do much with his arm, but, if he has to make a play, he will make the play, right? So, that's the big adjustment, and they're still winning.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, that's what I said. I'm very curious. I don't know if we could get a hold of this stat line, but of time of possession. I mentioned that in last week's episode about that game. And I said if Mac wants a shot to shut down Amador, it's time of possession, And with Tamale going off the way that he did still, and they fall short. I mean, I'm curious what that comes down to. I want to see the nitty-gritty details of that game.
I'm just very surprised that game was only a 13-8 ball game at the half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it blows up in the second half.
It just blows up like that. I'm like,
dang, son.
Are you sure you're at the right game? I'm saying that to our freelancer, Ivan, and I'm thinking to myself, wait, really? 44-33?
I know. We should have Ivan call into the show and have us.
We went from a hard physical game, low scoring, to an absolute shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
I know. We should have almost planned instead and had Ivan call into the show here and tell us a quick breakdown. I know. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Sorry, Ivan. We love you. Great coverage of that game.
Yep.
Phenomenal game. T-squared is the real deal.
And they scored 21 or something unanswered points, so.
It's insane. It's insane. I mean, again, out of the Bay, this is a big statement, but I think Tristan Tia and Marley Alcantara are two of the best quarterbacks in the Bay Area right now, the greater Bay Area. I don't know who you can really argue the two with. There's some that are great. I'm not discrediting any of the other quarterbacks. There are great quarterbacks all across the Bay Area, all different schools to cover, and don't even get to cover. They are the real deal, both of them, and they show it.
That thing is, okay, well, who are you going to put over Marley or Tristan?
That's what I'm saying.
It's like,
no.
We love Toa Fave, but, that's not his style.
Right.
And that's not the offense that they run. They run the veer, and they run it to perfection.
Yeah.
So, you can't really put Toa. I mean, he's a great player.
He's a great athlete.
He's a great athlete.
Yep.
But again, who else? Who else would you put there?
I love my quarterbacks, man. I don't know. A lot of good quarterback play.
I'm trying to literally go through and pick and figure that out myself.
Let's just say we had a fantastic NorCal football week. I mean, some of these games that we're not even kind of talking about, like Wilcox, that was controversial.
Yeah.
We'll leave that to Twitter and whatnot. That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
You guys do your homework on that one. We're not going to touch on that one too much, I don't think.
Just
that
saying, the officials
questionable.
May have gotten a little extra income after the
little
game.
fishy.
All right, let's make our way over to
Long John Silver's
basketball.
So we're not covering state football? So that's it.
That's it.
It's just
the end. We're on to basketball, to the hardwood where the gym is warm and cozy out of the rain and the cold weather.
And games are only an hour and a half.
It's great. I know. It's great.
I can't complain.
Yeah, I'm all
that
about
was
it.
me on Thursday. Well, I was at Reardon all day pretty much, but wow.
A lot of good basketball this year.
There's a lot. This is an interesting season. What are we going to expect? We had some transfers come to go to different programs.
Yep.
Man, and we have some teams that are like, whoa, okay. And that was the case. Salesian Ignacio Valley.
Ignacio Valley shocked me. Really.
They're a good team.
But I mean, I'm just basing off last year's matchup. We've talked about it before, where they that score margin was insane. Antonio Kellogg Jr., baby. Hello. Welcome to the basketball season.
Who did Salesian lose from last year?
Hunkin Clater. I think it's
Later,
There's another-
DeAndre Petit.
Petit, that's a big one.
They also lost Amani Johnson, who was very effective off the bench.
Yeah.
So those were some 3 key pieces. But let me tell you about Salesian. Salesian, they're very well balanced.
Exactly.
They are very well balanced. And I think it all starts with Alvin Loving
Yeah.
and Carlton Perilliet.
Isn't Obeña still there?
Elias Obeña's there as
Obeña's
well,
there.
ladies and gentlemen. I think he's only a junior.
I forgot Perilliet was still there, too. I mixed him up with Petit.
Yeah, Perilliet's good.
Yeah.
He's a very. I feel like he grew another 4 or 5 inches, man.
In case he wasn't tall enough already.
Like I saw him in football season. He was going off in a football game versus I think it was St. Mary's. And he had like 3 total touchdowns in that game. And it's like, oh, man, this guy's going to be effective and very talented in basketball. And he had a huge game not too long ago
Yeah, I
where
think he had 30.
Yeah, he dropped 30
Oh.
to beat Modesto Christian, who's a wonderful program out there.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you know what? Is it too early to say the unpredictability factor is
What? So I got to ask you, Adrian, what does your
Yes.
open look like right
you know,
now? Not for the NorCal, but for the NCS.
for NCS? That's really, really tough, right? I mean, obviously you have Salesian and De La Salle, and it's about it. It's like it's gonna be a dog fight.
I feel like it's hard because it's such a long season. They play so many games.
It's so
It's so hard. Anything can happen this early in the season. I mean, I feel like I can't help but compare to football when you're making your preseason picks, right? It's a little different. You can look at matchups, 10 game schedule in the regular season,
Yes.
right? Basketball, you are looking at a long season, long haul.
season.
So it's like
Exactly.
hard to predict.
And even our polls, I mean, and we'll get to that in a bit. The polls are going to be a lot different. They're going to be different because it's just like they can win, they can dominate one team, and then they're going to lose to a team that you don't expect them to lose to. So, man,
Yeah.
it's going to be a crazy season. But like I was answering Jake a couple minutes ago, Salesian and De La Salle is in there. Maybe Doherty Valley.
I think they're going
Right,
to be in there.
maybe Ignacio Valley. I don't know. I know they had another tough loss last week, but they're a good team.
Yeah,
they're a
Ignacio
good team.
Valley.
Can you put Moreau Catholic in there? I know they're off to a slow start, but I think they beat like Modesto Christian or something.
They
like that.
did in overtime, I believe.
So
I believe, yeah.
It's
And then-
so tough.
And then I'll throw one out for the girls, and then into CCS is Pinewood. Pinewood is looking great as ever. They're such a good program. Doc has got it figured out like he always does.
Yes.
I mean, the way that I'll say right out of the gate, because I got the opportunity to cover them against Los Gatos last week, is their ball movement is so good. It is seriously, I said in my track, in my script, it's art in motion. It really is. The way they move the ball in that court is stunning, the plays that he draws up. I love it. So those Pinewood girls look great this season. So I think that's another team down in CCS to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, I think Pinewood's going to be a very good team.
Pinewood's always-
It's all about the ball movement, and it's all about the 3-pointer.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh my
So-
gosh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, as Pinewood's a good team, man. St. Ignatius is a good team.
Here it
Moscato's
comes.
a good team. Sacred
Ready?
Cathedral, good team.
Drum roll.
Who's gonna beat Midi? I don't think any of these teams are gonna beat Midi, man. I mean, my goodness, they were in the tournament last week in like Loyola Country Day, and I mean they killed everyone. Right? They killed everyone. Their closest margin of victory was 15 points. That was their closest margin of victory. So, can anybody beat Midi? I don't know. I don't know about
A lot of good
that.
basketball. And back to boys NCS,
Let's go to-
like I
let's
said
go to
last
boys
week,
NCS.
is Ohio and Tech, of course. Now, I don't
Oh
think
my-
that's going to go all the way to the Open, but
Watch out for Oakland Tech.
man, that's just so fun.
Watch
I can't
out for
wait.
Oakland
I
Tech.
can't wait.
Well, both Oakland Tech,
Can
boys
I
and
get
girls.
an early dibs on one of those? They play a couple times. They play a couple
Oakland Tech,
times.
Oakland.
Yeah.
They got some
They play-
competition.
how many times do they play? It's like
They play
4 or
twice.
5 times. No, but like
Oh,
you get the
yeah. Right.
NorCal, and
Right.
then you got the OAL
Well,
championship.
They'll play at least 3 times.
Yeah, we'll
And
get
then
3.
NorCal, we just don't know, right?
But it always happens to be Oakland Tech.
Th-
And
that's
it's
why I just- that's why
it's
I-
amazing,
Electric.
and that gym is always packed. I remember one year they had it at Laney College,
Yep.
and you know,
they need to do that more often.
You pack the stands there, and you get a few thousand probably. No,
more than a few. I think
Yeah.
Robert was at that game a couple years ago, and I think Ethan Castle said people were trying to break in because it was sold out, and there was more people trying to get into the game. I'm just like, this is absolutely nuts.
The one at Tech last year, the last one of the season, Ohio at Tech that I covered. I mean, the gym was so full. I had people pouring out the doors down to the baseline. They usually don't let people stand on the baseline.
That was probably the best night of basketball that I've ever been a
Tech
part
or
of
Oakland?
because it was Tech, it was OT and Ohio,
Girls.
and then
Yeah. Oh no.
well, no, for boys.
Oh yeah.
And then I was all the way up at I think it was I was at Contra Costa College with Reardon Salesian.
Right.
Oh,
that
my
was
word.
another amazing game. And then there was SRV Granada because
Oh my, that's
that
right.
was a battle for a D1.
That's right. Oh my.
A lot of good basketball.
Yeah, that was probably the best night of hoops. And then obviously with Midi, I think they played. Was that
Midi
Folsom that they
girls.
played?
I think so. They almost lost to Folsom, I think, and I think Midi just kind of ran away with it.
Yep.
Right. So hey, speaking of San Ramon Valley, they're a good team too, and I got to see them at the Crusader Classic last weekend, which was one.
Yeah.
of the weird,
What
no
draws your
surprise.
attention with SRV?
The Conley boys, man. Thomas and Ethan
Yeah.
Conley. I mean, listen.
Or is it Elliot Conley?
Or Elliot. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Elliot Conley, Thomas and Elliot Conley. Luke Isaac is still there.
Oh, yeah, he's a senior.
He's a senior, and they can shoot. They can shoot threes. They can do that, and they beat a good SI team, right? And listen, they were up by like 19, and SI kind of crawled back into it. So, SRV, watch out for. I think SRV is going to be the sleeper in the East Bay League, right? If you think about it, you have De La Salle and Doherty, and then you just don't know.
Right.
I think San Ramon Valley will be a sleeper.
Are we dunking in San Ramon?
Well, they were. You know what? They were dunking it pre-game, and I'm like, oh, great, we're gonna get a couple dunks. No dunk. I'm like, oh, come on.
Let me tell you,
guys.
folks, if you don't already know, if there's one guy who cares about dunks
That's
more
right.
than anything is the Adrian
right.
Soriano. He wants a dunk, and
Yep.
he will be disappointed if he leaves the game without a dunk.
And SRV also has Mason Thomas.
That's right. Oh, him too.
He's a very talented guard.
So
Very
SRV
talented.
stacked, man.
Great,
SRV
great
stacked.
shooter.
Well, actually, Granada. I will put Granada in that conversation too.
So this goes to prove our point. We are mentioning so many different schools and teams right
just-
now
yes.
across boys and girls. It's wide open. Who knows what? There's a lot of high hopes. Some,
And this is honestly, football's a lot of fun, but there is nothing like East Bay League basketball, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, we haven't talked about De La Salle yet.
I haven't even mentioned Daylo.
Oh
You're
my
right.
god, yeah.
So, and Doherty.
Blair, Charlesfig. They're gonna have some new guards over there because both Leo Ricketts and Arshawn Salke, they graduated from last year, so they're gonna have some new guards over there with their backcourt. But everything up front starts with Alec Blair.
Yeah. Well, even Doherty Valley, man.
Yeah.
Doherty Valley, they have Jalen Stokes, right? And we haven't even talked about CCS. We have not even talked about CCS basketball. And we can, I guess, I know, Nikon's giving us the
cue.
the cue. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about
There's
it real
too
quick.
much yapping.
That's okay, but
Little
it's a
too much-
basketball preview, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
I know.
I think
all over.
I think everyone has to run through Reardon.
in the CCS.
In the CCS.
Yeah.
I mean, Jasir Rencher, Andrew Hillman, who had a big game against. They destroyed Sacred Heart Prep.
Ness.
Oh my!
The big man.
50 points.
Yeah.
The big man Ness.
And Jasir Rencher and Ness Amanike, Jasir, and they had that Simitri Carr
And then
from Branson, the transfer.
Is he with Reardon?
Yes. Simitri Carr, yes.
I thought he was with Redwood.
That's not what I heard from Ethan Castle.
That's a big difference.
I don't know. We'll take a look. But
I
think-
thought he left Reardon and went to Redwood.
Really?
Whoa.
Weren't you at the game?
I was. Well, obviously he wasn't going to play because I think the transfer stuff.
Okay.
So we'll double check on that.
Gotta do our
that's
homework on that one.
You got to do more homework on that.
Okay.
So
What's his name? What'd you say?
Simitri
Dimitri
Carr.
Carr. He played at Branson last year. There were reports that he transferred to
Reardon.
Reardon,
Ethan
but then
broke the
last
news.
minute
he transferred to Redwood.
to Redwood.
That's
and I thought
interesting.
he was in Redwood.
Okay,
Our producers on it.
Our producers on
Producers on it doing the homework.
we'll
So
see.
we'll come back. How about in the meantime?
Let's go through the polls.
I want to
Let's
go through
do
the
it.
polls because we're talking about girls, right? A little bit. We mentioned Pinewood. You mentioned Midi. So
Yeah.
take us through our polls.
Well, again, Midi's going to be the number 1 team unless someone beats them. In the Bay Area, right?
Okay.
So Midi, they won the Loyola Country Day Sweet 16 tournament. So
He's right.
Nikon just said Red, so you're right, Redwood. Wow. Okay, but Reardon's still stacked.
He committed
Yes,
the Cal.
committed Cal.
Okay.
so.
Stay in the Bay.
All right.
All right. Anyway, we got that.
All
So
right,
you
that's-
got Midi at number 1.
Yep, and then Carondelet number 2. They went 2-1 in the She Got Game Classic Showcase in
Got
Dallas.
Game.
So we're
They
in a
went
part.
to Dallas?
I know, that's
So
crazy.
guys, we are in
You
a
read
part
my
of the
mind.
season. We're in a part of the season where all these teams travel all over the place. So it's really it's kind of tough to kind of gauge
Sure,
the poll, right,
competition.
until
Yeah.
they really get into league and they start playing teams from the Bay Area and league. So
I'll
it's
take a
gonna be
trip to
tough.
Dallas. They want to invite me. I don't mind coming along. I could go see Dallas.
So,
Going all the way to Dallas is crazy.
well, we'll get to more teams that
more?
went
More
out of
cities.
state,
Good.
so.
Okay, great. I
So,
can't wait.
Salesian stayed. I think they stayed in California. They did lose to Clovis West, but Clovis West is a good team, right? Coach Craig Campbell, really does a good job there. I think he's still there. But they
That's
also
a country
beat,
artist, by the way.
yeah. Oh, is he really?
Yeah,
Wait,
Craig Campbell.
at Salesian?
Salesian girls, they did lose to Clovis West.
Clovis West, that Campbell guy. That's
Craig
where you're-
Campbell,
Okay.
great coach. They did beat Bullard.
Okay.
I think that they're from SoCal, but they're still the number 3 team.
There's
Pine-
Panthers.
Pinewood goes up to number 4. Only 1 game. They beat Los Gatos last week, and they will be traveling to Hawaii.
Oh,
this
man. They
week
could
for the
bring me.
was it Iloyani? Oh, God, I can't say it. Iolani Classic. Sorry if I misspoke that, but moving on. Oakland Tech is still I think they were number 5 last week, but they are number 5 team this week. They did lose to Vanden earlier in the week last week, and then they traveled to Minneapolis. They went to Minnesota, and they did lose to De La Salle of Minneapolis. Not
Bad football in
They
Minnesota.
lose,
Well, right, yeah. Well,
and beat North Community out there. So, yeah. San Ramon Valley won the Payo Classic tournament in Miramonte. They defeated host Miramonte 53-36.
Yeah, dominant.
And again, they have girls that are coming. I think the transfer from Monte Vista's coming.
Yeah,
in
SRV's going to be
January, so-
solid.
Holy
Holy
solid.
They're
transfer
going to be
portal.
all right. But
Yep.
the question is, in that East Bay League, though, can they keep up with Carondelet?
Well, we'll find out, and that will be on our schedule when they play. That's for sure. I think Aubrey's probably gonna have that game.
Probably.
She loves her San Ramon Valley girls. So,
SRV and Tech. Those are her 2 girls.
well, we'll get there.
Oh, all right.
We'll get there. Sacred Heart Cathedral number 7. So Sacred Heart went to Colorado.
Lots of traveling.
So they beat Colorado Academy, Mullen, and St. Michael's. So
They got all
a
this
lot of traveling
money?
stuff.
Well, I'm thinking about there's so much competition in the Bay Area, yellow, and just California, and we're traveling Colorado,
Yeah, well,
Hawaii,
this is the part of the
Texas.
season, right? It's early in the year.
I mean, sure,
Kind of
don't mind
want
if
to
I do.
test yourself, but Ocalanes stayed in the Bay. They won the Lady Cat Classic tournament. I think that's in Marin Catholic. They defeated St. Ignatius, who is our number 9 team.
Acalanes is my dark horse this year for girls basketball.
I think they
okay.
will be in the Open. They will be in the Open.
Yeah.
I like it.
And Bishop O'Dowd, they go down to number 10. But it's not because they lost. They didn't play last
Wait,
week.
did you mention SI?
Sitting
Yep, number 9.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he said
yeah.
number 9.
Went straight from, yeah.
Bishop O'Dowd, number 10. So they didn't play this week. I think they're going to, like, a tournament somewhere.
A tournament somewhere.
I
That's
forgot- I-
good reporting right there.
I'm so sorry. But again, this is the point of the
I
season.
know, but
But this point of the season, everyone's traveling all over the place, right? So, Midi does it every year. Midi girls basketball.
I think I played the wrong sport. So much traveling.
I want to say
is.
I want to see Midi play at Awanda in the regular season. They need that experience.
I don't know if they may play them in.
They
some
they
tournament.
played Long Island Lutheran, I believe.
That's
or-
right, they did.
that-
And they're going to Springfield this year, Springfield, Massachusetts. So
Oh.
because I think
travel.
Sue got inducted to the Hall of Fame, and so I think that's part of it. Don't quote me on it, but I was looking at their schedule: Springfield, and I think they're going to Arizona again.
Welcome to the East Side.
Wow, so
Nice.
crazy.
Nice.
So yeah, there's your girls basketball poll. Still way too early, but
Yeah.
All right, go to the boys.
all
Here we
right,
go.
go to the boys. Our first look at the boys poll again, right? Way too early. So we're just gonna go through it very quickly. Salesian is our number 1 team. Reardon number 2. De La Salle number 3. Doherty Valley number 4. Oakland Tech number 5. They have impressive start for the Bulldogs. Also went to Minneapolis this week. San Ramon Valley number 6. Mitty number 7. St. Ignatius number 8. Clayton Valley number 9. And Liberty at number 10.
Liberty number 10.
I was going to put Moreau and Ignacio, but, they had... So Moreau lost badly to Tech, and they lost to some other team in San Leandro the past weekend. So,
Okay.
And Ignacio Valley went 0 for 2 last week.
What about Branson? Branson was always a top team.
They are.
Obviously with Dimitri Carr leaving there. That changed a lot. And then
Yes.
they also had some guys that left and graduated from last year. So what about Branson? Where would you consider them as a bubble team?
I think they're a bubble team. Again, there are a lot of bubble teams right now, right? Branson,
Sure.
Moreau, Ignacio Valley. I was gonna say SI, but they're in the pool. So
What about SI boys?
Yeah, SI boys is in the pool. They're number 8.
Yeah, they're number 8.
Yeah, they're number 8.
Yeah. All right.
See, here's the thing: is I'm reserving all my opinions till later in the
It's
season.
tough.
I don't
Again.
have anything to say. I
Again.
love critiquing your polls and telling you when
Once
you're wrong.
again,
but
right? It's way too early. Everyone's traveling everywhere.
Yep.
So
Wait till we get the league play.
when we get to January, when we come back from our break,
We're gonna
now
find
we're
out-
really gonna dig in.
We're gonna
because,
find out a lot.
Exactly.
And I mean
Exactly.
a
Yes,
lot,
sir.
Exactly.
The question, will Salesian be able to keep that balanced attack and be efficient to win games, not just in league play, but when it comes to tournament time?
Exactly.
What is De La Salle going to look like with Alec Blair with a new backcourt over there?
Exactly.
How is Jalen Stokes going to fit into the system with Doherty Valley? What can SRV do to make it back to a state title run? There are just
There's
many
much, there's
questions
so much.
that are going to be unfold. What is Reardon going to look like?
Hey, I'm calling dibs on Reardon games, man. Dunk City, baby. Yes, sir.
He's all about the dunks. All right, I think that's all the time we have for you.
here comes the best part.
Football, it's over.
You start throwing
Sad.
it. Start
It's
throwing stuff.
over. Do I do it? Should I throw it at the camera?
Or are we?
Yeah, I
big-
see what's coming. I already know what's
know,
gonna happen.
I'm ready.
But it's
All
fine.
right, safe to say, you've been covered.
Oh, good. I love it. I'm innocent.
You've been
Great.
covered.
Covered.